Hi everybody, it's Casey from Upcycled Island, and today I'm going to show you how I deconstruct a pair of jeans to get them ready to make projects. I mostly make handbags and accessories, and I have a certain way that I deconstruct jeans, so I'll have lots and lots of fabric to use for my handbags, and then other parts of the jeans that I use to make other accessories. Okay, I've got a pair of jeans here. What I have learned through trial and error is that 100% cotton non-stretch jeans are best for the type of upcycling that I do. And so the first thing that I do is I take this flat felled seam and I cut that out. I cut the seam out along the edge and along the seam line. I will use those seams for things like handles, straps for the purses. I also use them in embellishments on the front of the handbags. So I start at the hem and I just cut as close to the seam line as I can. I'm going to do this all the way up the jean and across the crotch onto the other leg, because the longer the piece, the better. So get your pair of jeans and start cutting. What we're going to do in the next few series is we're going to use the pieces that we've cut from these jeans and make a couple of projects. A fringy tote bag, perhaps, fanny pack, some really fun projects. There's tons and tons that you can make out of your jeans, and I'm going to show you a few of those. So this is part one of a series of upcycling jeans. So I've cut this almost to the other end. And this is probably the most, well, it's not really time consuming, maybe a little tedious, because I want to cut them as close to that seam as possible, close to that seam line. Okay, I've got it all the way through, and then I'm going to cut it from the other side. And this will be any number of things in my projects. So go ahead and finish that. Hi, I just want to remind you to subscribe. Hit the red subscribe button down there until it's grayed out. And also there's a little bell. If you'll hit that bell, whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified. Don't miss out. Alrighty, we've got our seam cut free, and we're just going to set that aside because we're going to use that in one of our projects. What we've got now is the jeans. Voila. Now, I want as much fabric as I can get. So I lay the jeans out. This is the outside seam. I lay the jeans out, both layers, and get them as even as I can. And I want as much of the leg as possible because I can probably get 2 or more projects out of the legs. I use the pockets a lot, just the pockets themselves on my projects. So I'm going to cut my jeans just under the pocket. Now I can feel the bottom of the pocket on the other side. So I'm going to cut across, all the way across here, missing that pocket because I don't want to cut my pocket. So I'm going to cut through the crotch, all the way across. Just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You'll straighten it up later. So now I have these 2 large pieces of the legs of those jeans. And fold those. And there they are. Now, depending on the projects that I'm going to make, it determines how I'm going to deconstruct the rest of the jean. I'm going to show you how to make a fanny pack, and so I'm going to cut the pockets, the back pockets off. I simply cut them as close to the pocket line as possible, and up here where the yoke is, I'm going to cut above that. Well, just below that, excuse me. So, and then I'm going to cut the other side of the pocket. Now that it's free, I'll cut the angle part. So my pocket is free. I left this top portion because I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to use this pocket. And there's a couple of ways, or many different ways I can use it. But there's one way where I need this extra. So I'm going to leave it on until I decide what I'm going to do with these pockets. So let's cut the other one off, leaving that portion that's just below the yoke, because we want that. And then again, once it's free, cut your angles of the pockets. And there you have it. We've got our pockets for another project or 2. Now I'm going to just cut free this piece that's left in the back. Cut it below that yoke. And these are some good scraps, but there's also more of this flat felled seam that we can use in other projects, so we're going to save that. So we have another piece of seam, and then we have some scraps. You can use scraps for all kinds of things, so just hang on to them. Now this is what we've got. No back, just the front. That's going to be one of our projects, so hold on to that. Okay, we are finished deconstructing the jeans. We have our 2 large pieces of fabric, which are the legs. We have scraps which we're going to hang on to because we may need them someday. We have 2 pockets, and we kept the extra fabric above the pocket for one of our projects. We have the seam, the whole inside leg seam, and then a little piece of seam from the back of the jean. And then we have the jean fronts. The back has been cut out. That's another project. So next time we're going to make a project out of the jeans that you've just cut up. So hold on to that. And I'll see you next time. Stay safe.